All right, we need to solve this rational equation. The first thing we're going to do, as always, is we want to factor anything in the denominator that we can. In this case right here, we're going to factor this x squared plus 2x minus 3. This factors into x plus 3 times x minus 1. Okay, then what we do before we get going, we're going to look at our excluded values. So our excluded values are values that we can't have for our variable. They're values that make the denominator 0. In this case, our excluded values are x cannot be 1 and x can't be negative 3. And the reasoning for that is, for 1, it makes this denominator 0. It also makes this denominator 0. Negative 3 makes this denominator 0 and also this one 0. If any number, any value, makes any of those denominators 0, it is an excluded value and therefore can't be a solution to our equation. All right, next step. Now there's two different ways of attacking this. You either build common denominators or multiply by the common denominator. In this case, our LCD of each of these denominators using the unique factors would be x plus 3 times x minus 1. And then we're going to build these denominators. So in this first fraction right here, we need to multiply the top and the bottom by x plus 3. We have the x minus 1, so we don't need anything else. And the second fraction here, on the other side of the equation, we need to multiply by x minus 1 to the numerator and denominator. Here's what that would give us. What we got here is, in each of the denominators, we now have x plus 3 times x minus 1. We already had that in this last fraction. We built the first two fractions into this x plus 3, x minus 1 by multiplying in their missing factors. In the numerator here of the first fraction, I've multiplied x plus 3 times x plus 1 and got x squared plus 4x plus 3. In the second fraction, now importantly, don't forget about this negative out in front here. I'm thinking this is a negative 7 times the x minus 1. And when I distributed that negative 7, I got negative 7x plus 7. That's a common mistake here, is taking care of that negative. All right, now that I have all the same denominators, I can rewrite this equation without the denominators, which makes this a lot easier. So I get x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals negative 7x plus 7 plus 8. And what I'm going to do now, this is a quadratic equation. I'm going to solve this by setting it equal to 0 and factoring and setting each of those factors equal to 0. First thing I'll do here is I'm going to combine these two terms to be a 15, just to make things easy. 7 plus 8 is a 15. Then what I'm going to do is add 7x to both sides and subtract 15 from both sides. Again, the purpose is to set one side of this equation equal to 0. The resulting equation would be x squared plus 11x minus 12 equals 0. All right, now that I'm set equal to 0, my goal is to factor this equation, or factor this expression on the left-hand side, the non-zero side. And what I'm going to get, let's see, two numbers that multiply to be negative 12 and add to 11 would be a positive 12 and a minus 1. Okay, and then both of those factors will yield an answer. I get x plus 12 equals 0, which gives me x equals negative 12. And then I also get x minus 1 equals 0, which gives the answer of x equals 1. All right, those are our two solutions that we came up with. Always important, though, that I'm going to look back to my excluded values. Again, remember, these values, 1 and negative 3, are values that can't be solutions because they make denominators 0. Double checking here, this right here, x equals 1, x cannot be 1, so this is not a solution to the equation. The only solution would be this x equals negative 12.